This is the Mariners POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Seattle Mariners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
That was a nail biter. And if we're being completely honest, a pretty boring game until that ninth inning. A pretty darn boring game until that ninth inning. But it's a Mariner win, and we shall take it. Mariners win 1-0 to open a 3-game set against the Baltimore Orioles. My name is Chris Crawford. Welcome to the Locked On Mariners POSTCAST. Normally joined by my buddy Anderson Hurst. Anders has a ton of stuff going on. All good. Everything good. He's just a very busy young man, so we're going to let him take this one off. Really appreciate you guys stopping in. We're going to talk about George Kirby, who was just phenomenal, and that could probably be just the entire episode. We could end it right there. We're going to talk about this offense not looking so hot against a pitcher that you should look better against. And then we'll give an unsung hero and an unsung villain. But before we get started, I'd really appreciate if you guys hit like. I'd really appreciate if you guys hit subscribe. All of that good stuff. Like the video in support of Chris Mac, man. That is an absolutely genius thing to say. Check is in the mail, my friend. So let's start with the start like we always do. George Kirby was just sensational tonight. And what I really liked about Kirby's start tonight was we saw that control that we're used to seeing from George Kirby. We saw no walks, but we saw it in a way that's been different than sometimes we see George Kirby. Sometimes I think George Kirby can be guilty of just trying to challenge too much, just trying to say, hit my stuff, right? I don't think that was the version of Kirby we saw tonight. I thought he was assertive, certainly, but man, oh man, he was willing to throw pitches outside of the zone and see if hitters would swing at it. And they did. They absolutely did. This was the closest I've felt since that 14 strikeout game to George Kirby just being the version of George Kirby that we are used to seeing. He's had lots of great starts. Somebody mentioned earlier that he's had like 4 great starts in a row, but it's looked different. This looked more like George Kirby, but better because of the fact that he was willing to throw some pitches outside of the strike zone. I thought he was incredible. And thank goodness they score a run to not waste it. We have seen George Kirby starts go by the wayside. We've seen them for all of these pitchers. All of these hitters have been the cause of it. This was great. This was awesome stuff. And I love the swing and miss too. I think he generates 12 today. That's a solid number. Very little weak contact. I'm just sorting by exit velocity here. You know, a lot of the hard contact, unfortunately, comes after he comes out of the game. But, man, that's ace stuff. That is ace stuff. And the fact that this guy might be your 4th best pitcher is just crazy. I kind of wanted to see Dankbud. It says, I kind of wanted to see Kirby go out for the 8th, too. You could have justified it. I didn't mind the decision to pull him after 7, but I like that they let him at least work that 7th, right? You had to today. Had to, because shortened bullpen. It looks like Matt Brash was not available today. You can't say enough good things about George Kirby. You cannot. I'll try. Sometimes I'll try and say, hey, come up with new superlatives, but I love how little self-inflicted damage he had while also generating those swings and misses. This was fun. This was fun. Let's talk about the bullpen real quick. Nice job by Bizzardo. You know, he does give up the hit, but I think Bizzardo handled the bottom of that lineup well. Big out from Gabe Spire, just gets the little fly out. And then Andres Munoz. And, you know, a lot of people are going to talk about the booing, and I'll just get into it real quick. Don't ever boo injuries. I'm not going to blame it on a certain fan base. There are fan bases that are better about this than other. Never boo an injury. Never. Ever, ever, ever. It's a bad look. I don't like telling people what to do. I feel pretty comfortable in this one. Don't boo injuries. Don't boo them. It's a uncouth, unclassy thing to do, right? Andres Munoz isn't out there faking anything. Come on. Now, as for how Munoz pitched, I thought he pitched really well. He gets those first 2 outs very easily. Does give up, the 4-pitch walk and clearly something going on with his hand there. Gives up the single. I'll be honest, I think Ben Williamson makes that play at third base. It's just, I pay attention to that stuff. I have, again, no issues with the trade whatsoever. But, I don't think it was super hard contact, and then you just get the little grounder to JP to end it. A very nice drive from Munoz. Fastball, as somebody's bringing up, was not at his best. And yeah, Sushi Jude, he's one of the most authentic people, one of the nicest people that I've met in my time doing this as well. Just a completely classy dude who didn't deserve that, man. Did not deserve that whatsoever. But a really nice job by him. Just a heads up, this is going to be a shorter video. It is 94 degrees where I'm at. I have no air conditioning, and there's not a whole heck of a lot to talk about anyway. This is a pretty simple one. I was kind of rooting for something like this, if I'm being honest. I would have liked a few more Seattle Mariners runs, but we'll talk about that office in a sec. But we've got to thank some people and take a very, very quick Christian Kirk quick commercial break. And first, we have to say hi to the good people of OpenPhone. OpenPhone's a really cool thing because if you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had a service emergency, like a burst pipe. If the first plumber didn't answer, did you wait? Nah, you moved on to the next one. That's why having a reliable business line is so important, and that's why you need OpenPhone. They're the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or your computer. If you've had to juggle phone lines, you know how important that this is, right? Like, you cannot have just like normally you have to have a bunch of lines and it costs you a bunch of money. You don't have to do that with OpenPhone. It's all a share one number and it's just a shared inbox. You don't have to worry about who is handling this. OpenPhone is offering Locked On POSTCAST listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/lockedonmlb. That's OpenPhone.com/lockedonmlb. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone is going to port them over free of charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, all new customers. And we've got to thank the good people of FanDuel. August 26th is officially FanDuel's Future Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week 1 even kicks off, this is your moment. Take that flyer on the MVP race. Crown your champion in August, right? Those parlay your division winner dark horses. Today is a great day to do that, or that day will be a good day to do that. Clearly, August 26th. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and only one day. FanDuel, play your game. And finally, but last but not least, we got to thank the good people of Game Day Hue. This episode is brought to you by Game Day Hue. They make clean color, no logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your color speak for you. There's no giant logos. There's just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the course, or anywhere in between. Let's say you have a hat that you really like, right? Like a hat that has a color scheme that you just can't find something else to wear it with. That's what's great about Game Day Hue. They're going to make that cool product for you. They're going to make you that shirt that fits with it. Or if you have, shoes that you really like that have a special color scheme, Game Day Hue is going to be able to make that for you. And right now, you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue.com. That code even stacks on bundle deals. So now's the time to load up. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com, code MLB15. All right, enough of the advertisements, man. The day Anders is gone. What the heck? The offense, good start. Randy Arozarena lines that single up the middle, and then Dumper gets just underneath one. Julio hits a pretty hard hit ground ball, but thankfully Randy steals second, and Josh Naylor Josh Naylor just lines that single. You get a 1-0 lead, and you're thinking, oh, off Dean Kramer, you got a chance to have a pretty good offensive day. And I want to be clear, Dean Kramer pitched well, and we've seen Dean Kramer have success at this league. He has a good chance to be a solid back-end starter, not for a great team, but for a good team. You got to tip your hat to Kramer. He did well. Somebody literally just said that. You tip your hat to Kramer. He pitched fine. That doesn't mean the offense was good today. And there were some missed chances here for sure. There were some pitches that probably should have been driven a little harder, right? There were some opportunities missed. I didn't love Julio. What happened with Julio? So he draws the walk, and that's great to see. I believe a 5-6 pitch watch. Doesn't swing in that pitch outside of the zone, draws a couple throws over. You don't have to go if you have a couple of runners over, right? The disengagement is dropped. Sorry, what I just said there made absolutely no sense, but you know what I'm saying now. You don't have to go. It's not a rule. You got to get a better jump there. You got to get a better jump or just not go. And a really nice throw by Adley Rutschman. I didn't love that. Individually, offensively, I thought actually Julio had a good game. He reaches twice, but again, glad that didn't end up hurting them too much. Naylor with the big RBI, just missed on a couple. Big Dumper just missed on a couple. The only guy who doesn't get a hit today actually is Gino. Two guys, Gino and Cole Young. Cole Young had kind of a tough day at the plate today, but made a nice defensive play, turning into double play. It wasn't a good offensive game, and they're going to have to play better offensively if they're going to win this division, right? But I also kind of love that you win a game like this. This is a complimentary 2024 game, because while 2024 was a disappointment, there were a lot of these 1-0, 2-0 wins where your pitching just dominated and carried you. It's okay that happens. We don't want too many of them, because this team has to score runs if they are going to be the division champion. This team has to score runs. That's an obvious point. You literally cannot win a baseball game without scoring a run. You also can't lose a game if you give up 0. So you saw both today. You scored 1 and you gave up 0. It's okay. It's not the end of the world, but all I can do is react to this game, right? That's what we are paid to do. I believe it's $6,000 a game I get. How fun would that be? The offense wasn't good enough today. I expect more. And while I will tip my cap to Kramer, I will also say that there were missed opportunities. There were some pitches that should have been clobbered, that they didn't take advantage of them. Did not take advantage of them. But I'm kind of glad that a game like this happens, that you win. Obviously, you want to win. But it's kind of nice in a game where you don't play your best, you get a win to start a massive road trip. Massive. Real quick, it is 6:21 Pacific time. I am checking on some scores in games that involve the Seattle Mariners. The Yankees are winning 5-1. Blue Jays, that's Mariner relevant-ish. 4-1 Blue Jays. Tigers and White Sox are tied at 0. Rangers are leading the Diamondbacks 2-1. Is there anything? Oh, right. Currently 2-0 Boston in the top of the 4th. So if that result holds, the Seattle Mariners will be tied with the Houston Astros for the division lead with exactly 42 games left to be played. I don't know why I said exactly, but I'm not wrong. This is going to be fun. So you're going to want to make sure you hit like and subscribe so that we can talk about this and you can know exactly when we go live. Do believe my buddy Anders will be back tomorrow. Good start to this trip. A flawed game for sure. But this is a good win. And I had fun talking about it for 14 minutes and 41, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.